IFAB is discussing 4 important rules to change football, and it's happening today. FIFA President Gianni Infantino announced that on March 1st, IFAB will convene to discuss revolutionary changes in football rules. Therefore, we might have some new rules, but how could they be? Welcome to the podcast where we will discuss these as well. While you hit the like button and prepare to listen to the rules and write comments below, I'll get started. Now, March 1st, this meeting will take place in Glasgow in March. So by the time I publish this, it will probably already be March 1st. We can say today, if there are any outcomes, we will discuss them. The things discussed here: changing the offside rule, some changes in communication between referees and VAR, objection. In other words, the introduction of the challenge system and ensuring effective game time. Topics like stopping and continuing the time. These changes are expected to be implemented in the Euro in July 2025. If approved, the first rule, of course, is the offside rule. It's been talked about for a while as the Wenger law. You must have seen it a lot on social media. Like, this is how offside should be, Wenger says so. This is something Wenger has been saying since he became the development director at FIFA 3 to 4 years ago. As you know, Wenger played at Arsenal for many years and was a coach who promoted beautiful football. However, he thought that offside hindered attacking football. He believed it somewhat restricted the game, and to encourage this, he argues that a player should not be considered offside unless their entire body is ahead of the last defender. In other words, he says a player will be offside only when they are completely separated from the last defender. It is hoped that this will prevent millimetric offside decisions and lead to a more attacking style of football. However, my objection here is this. Bro, there will also be VAR reviews for that. So did they separate or not? There will still be millimetric offsides in this regard. There is no solution for that in any way. We will see millimetric offsides in every case, and someone will be upset about it every time. I don't think there's a solution for that. So the offside system will come out of semi-automatic, the machine will read it, and whatever the machine says, it will be offside accordingly. Even in FIFA, there are sometimes mistakes with offsides, but will it lead to a more attacking style of football? This could happen in the end. The defense will be at a disadvantage here. It will also be a huge advantage for fast attackers. We might be entering a period where we see a lot of counterattacks, transitions, and fast breaks behind the defense, and the game might speed up a bit with attempts to reach the goal as quickly as possible. But I don't know if it will be positive or negative. In that sense, I really have some question marks in my mind. As I said, you can write your comments below. Let's move on to the next topic. There's a topic about referees announcing their decisions instantly. It was first tested at the 2023 Women's World Cup, and they give the referee a microphone so that viewers can better understand what's happening. With the microphone, the referee explains the decision and its reason in the stadium. This is also currently being used in the MLS, and it's already being talked about as really positive. So I think it's an important decision for referees to explain themselves and their decisions. And Kalina, as you know, FIFA's top referee official, thinks this system will bring transparency to football. I agree as well. This is definitely something that should happen. So when there is a VAR decision or a penalty decision, if the entire stadium can hear it, if they can hear the reason, yes, it would make sense. What would happen, it would slow down the game. So will we wait for the referee's decision there as well? After all, he said, brother. For viewers who want to watch more football, of course, it's an issue. But in our country, especially, we go to watch the referees. We are not trying to watch the match. Will the referees make the right decision? Will our team win? Since that's our only concern a little more. The broadcasting of referees' decisions is actually a good thing for a league like ours. Of course, it might increase the debates we have. We will be seeing that issue together as well. Again, I am waiting for your opinions on this below. Don't forget to hit the like button as we move on to the next topic. The challenge system or objection is being discussed. There will be a challenge system here similar to those in basketball and volleyball. This is a system where coaches can challenge a certain number of referee decisions and request a VAR review. In fact, I had previously recorded a podcast about this. You can find it on the channel. Contrary to what is believed, this is a slightly different topic, a slightly different system. It was written that with this system, unnecessary VAR interventions can be reduced and the game can be sped up. In the article I read, however, it's not entirely true. After all, for example, there could be one challenge in the first half and one in the second half, or maybe 2 each. This could mean that both sides will make too many challenges during the match and the game will stop frequently. At the same time, it's necessary to consider what will happen when a challenge is made and is successful and what will happen when it fails. And there will be a plot twist for those hearing it for the first time, but this system will not actually come to professional football. In other words, it will not come to the football as we know it. The initial report suggested that this system would be used in leagues where VAR reviews are not present, and in leagues with fewer cameras. I don't know about this. IFAB will probably implement it for those leagues because I don't know how appropriate it is to have another challenge system in a place where one already exists. because as you know, in VAR, only 100% decisions can be changed. You already expect the referee in VAR to see and correct it only in 100% decisions. How much is it being applied? Of course, this is debatable, but with the challenge system, the game would stop much more. I think the constant stopping of the game would somewhat kill the game. If such a system comes to high-level football, I also think of something like this. We might see a scenario where the technical team and referees are involved, perhaps the referees who are currently commentators on television. We might see them in the technical teams of our major clubs, because the technical staff needs to know the rules of the game well to know when to make a challenge. To avoid wasting challenges unnecessarily, maybe the referee there will look at it from the video. There will be an assistant referee. The referee who is the assistant coach in the technical team will say that this decision was not made correctly. They will consult the referee and make a challenge like that, which was my fantasy. I don't know. It's a bit of an expensive affair. In that sense, it's something that will incur extra costs for the clubs. And it seems to me like something that will slow down the game a lot. At the same time, I think it could be used negatively to slow down and cool off the game in the final minutes. I'm not very keen on this. As I said, there was already news that it would be used in lower leagues where there are fewer cameras previously, and if that's the case, I think it would be logical. Lastly, there is another method being considered to stop the clock and prevent time wasting. The idea of stopping the clock when the ball goes out of play during the match will be discussed. This is something that has been talked about for years. This already exists in futsal and basketball. When the game stops, the clock also stops. There is also talk of a method where the referee can stop the clock whenever they want, but the referee already stops it at the right time and adds the difference as extra time. I don't think stopping the game to prevent time wasting is a logical thing, because under normal conditions in a good match, 55-60 minutes of play is already happening. What you need to do here is speed up the game, not stop the game and the clock, because this is done due to the talk about stopping the clock. Players throw themselves to the ground trying to waste time. Therefore, it is thought that if we stop the clock, time wasting would be reduced. I think MLS did something about this. They did it very well. You should say they have a rule like if you waste time for more than a minute, they take you out and don't let you back in for 5 minutes. I think that's more logical. You can penalize a guy who pretends to be injured for no reason, and people won't throw themselves to the ground unnecessarily. However, if you stop the clock, it stops too much the game, and players try to rest too much. How they would dawdle more because the time stopped. Players, it's not used when the ball goes out of bounds, not used during a free kick, etc. This would slow things down even more. Then, when the ball is back in play and the clock starts, they waste time trying to catch their breath. I think this would really kill the pace of the game, maybe for leagues like ours, which are already played extremely slowly and where this is abused in every way. It could have positive results. However, I don't think this would make much sense in the Champions League and such. Of course, as I said, I expect we'll find out soon whether this change will happen or not. I think the challenge system will come for the lower leagues here. The live broadcasting of referee decisions will most likely come. Many leagues that want it will start implementing it. The offside rule is the topic I'm most undecided about. It may or may not come. We'll see about that. I think they will start trying it. It will come later. However, I don't really think the time-stopping thing will come. What do you think? You can write it below. Let's see. From the summer of 2025, we might be watching a completely different football, but this is talked about every year and it doesn't happen. Don't forget to subscribe.